Welcome to the Isle of Skye. It's home to some of the most incredible landscapes and iconic hiking trails in Scotland. In this video, we're bringing you along to explore some of the top 5 most popular hikes on the island, suitable to pretty much anyone. Whether you're a seasoned hiker or just looking for a scenic walk, there's something here for everyone. So grab your boots, pack your camera, and let's hit the trail. Wet through, but still smiling. Hello! Good afternoon it is at the minute. We have just made it to Skye. A bit later than when we were planning on this morning, but perfect time for the sun to come out because it has been cloudy and a little bit wet this morning. But we are heading up on our first hike of Skye now, which is the classic old Man of Storr. It's probably one of the most popular Isle of Skye trails. It's very popular, attracting around 300,000 visitors per year, making it easily one of the most famous spots on Skye. And somehow we managed to get the best weather for it. But don't worry, we made up for that on the rest of the trip. So to have the sun out on one of Skye's most iconic trails was absolutely incredible. And just on the hillside there, we spied some bunny rabbits. It's just coming up to around 2:30 now, which means we've been heading up here for about 40 minutes. We've already been to the Man of Storr behind. There's quite a lot of viewpoints. So yeah, not too long of a hike at all. I'd say between like 30 and 40 minutes to get up, and then there's a viewpoint over there. We're heading up to this viewpoint now. You can actually do the Storr, which is the mountain behind. I think it's about 700 metres. So decent climb. I mean, you may as well do it while you're up here. We're not, because we are like a tad short on time. But yeah, the scenery and the views are absolutely incredible. It's stunning. Standing at around 50 metres, the old man gets his name from a local legend, where the rock is said to resemble an old man's figure and the spire representing his finger. It was formed millions of years ago from a volcanic eruption and is just one small piece of the Trottenish Ridge, a 30-kilometre stretch of mountain, ridgeline, that sort of thing, known for its dramatic, jagged cliffs and rock formations, very similar to the one that we're looking at right now. So there's actually a bunch of rock formations on this hike, as you can see all the way around, but it's this iconic middle one that is the old Man of Storr. Whilst it's not the most difficult hike on Skye, I'd definitely say it's still a relatively moderate hike, with an elevation gain of around 450, making it a decent walk for the start of our trip. After making it back to the van, we squeezed in a couple of waterfall stops, before making our way down to the coast for the perfect little camp spot right by the beach. The following day was a damp one, but we got to see this pretty rainbow, so I feel like it was worth it for that. So we have made it to a very wet walk to the, I think it's pronounced the Karang walk this morning. So for some reason I thought it was a good idea to vlog in this wild Scottish weather, but lo and behold you can barely hear a thing. But our first hike of the day was the Karang, again located on the Trotternish Ridge, which as I edit this video more, I'm thinking a full hike along the Trotternish Ridge would be epic. Anyway, even in the pouring rain, this place is incredible. And if you're not hearing the pouring rain, it should look more like this, and this. As you can see, the landscape here kinda looks like something from a different planet, featuring in a bunch of different films. And it's actually part of a huge landslip, one of the few in the world that's still moving, meaning that they even have to fix the road every year because of it. We did initially plan to do the full loop, but with the weather being a tad miserable, we made it part of the way before turning back. But even from the start of the trail, the views are unreal. You don't actually have to do a whole hike to enjoy this one. The viewpoint alone is just worth the drive. And if you get it on a clear day, you can see all the way across the Trotternish Peninsula. Oh, Glen inside. Oh man. After peeling off our jackets and warming up a little, we headed over to the fairy Glen, where the rain had subsided. And honestly, it couldn't have been more of a contrast. Where the Karang is dramatic with steep cliffs and rock formations, the fairy Glen is soft. Little grassy hills, spiral patterns, it's very whimsical. So we just arrived at our second stop of the day, the fairy Glen, and the weather has stopped raining for a sec, which is lovely. We're still all wrapped up because the weather in Scotland is pretty strange. The landscape here was actually also shaped by landslips, just on a much smaller scale. But locals have definitely leaned into the myth side of things, and the stone spirals that you see on the ground aren't all Celtic symbols or fairy markings. It's just something that tourists have started doing and it's kind of stuck. After leaving the fairy Glen, we took the scenic route west, stopping by Coral Beach along the way. It's only a short, 15-minute walk along the coast, and the beach itself is actually made from crushed white coral, not sand. So when the sun hits it on a good day, the water looks almost tropical. Unfortunately for us, the sun was not out. Wet through, but still smiling. And maybe if we hadn't just done the NC 500 and seen a ton of stunning beaches, we'd have given this beach some more of the love that it deserves. Because I don't want to poo-poo it, as I remember going to this beach as a kid and being absolutely blown away by it, as it's not exactly what you'd expect to see on Skye, and it is a really peaceful spot to stretch the legs. From the beach, we drove to the most westerly tip of the island, Neist Point, and it's the place that's on the Amazon Fire Stick screensavers. And it's pretty dramatic from the second you arrive. You park up pretty much on top of a cliff, and as soon as you begin walking, the whole view opens up. Sheer cliffs, endless sea, and that little white lighthouse clinging to the edge. So we just made it to Neist Point Lighthouse, which is on this headland just behind our parking. Right on that cliff up there. So we just climbed down a relatively decent path actually. The rain stopped, which is so nice. And it's left behind, I don't think the camera will pick it up, but all these incredible waterfalls coming down the cliffs. It's worth the rain just for that. It wasn't long before the heavens well and truly opened, like properly sideways rain. And that path that was relatively straightforward on the way down was bloody steep on the way back up, and it made our sprint back to the van very challenging. That was the most brutal one yet. And I was all ready for it to be sunny all afternoon. Clementine, I'm sorry, there's like hailstone.
Oh, sorry.
Just when we thought we would drive up, I know. I know. After semi-drying off, we made our way to our last, but by absolutely no means the least, one of Skye's most magical spots, the fairy pools. These crystal clear waters tucked away at the foot of the Black Cuillins looked like something straight out of a fairy tale, and to add to the magic we were greeted by yet another rainbow. And our final stop on the Isle of Skye is the fairy pools, complete with a rainbow and sunshine. And lots of people, but how beautiful. As soon as the river comes into view, the sound of the water is insane. There's tons of waterfalls, and if you're brave enough, a bunch of incredible wild swimming spots. Although word on the street is that the water is bloody freezing, rarely ever getting above 10 degrees. But with the water being so clear and almost turquoise, it does look pretty tempting. The trail here is easy to follow, and with the backdrop of the Black Cuillins, this spot is not one to be missed. Speaking of, although we didn't get a chance to do any hiking in the Cuillins this time, it is one of the most striking mountain ranges on the island, and full of incredible trails. So if you're looking for more of an adventure, it would definitely be worth heading to the Cuillins, which is for sure one we'll be back for in the future. That and the Isle of Skye trail. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you all on the next adventure.